everyone, and welcome to the NBA on Thursday night. We're bringing it to you live here on 2K Sports. This is Brian Anderson with Clark Kellogg and Grant Hill, and giving us no NBA games tomorrow as the league comes to a halt for Election Day, Grant.
Oh, yes, B.A., a good cause to pause, amplifying the importance for all who are capable getting to the polls and making sure our voices are heard.
Let's check out Milwaukee's starting lineup. Giannis Antetokounmpo is out there with Nikola Jokic. Then it's Jaylen Brown. Then it's Halliburton. And it's Gilgeous-Alexander in at the point guard position. Just 4 to shoot. Here's Keenan. Rejected by Brown. Antetokounmpo with it. Continuing to put up the points, averaging 14 per game.
Boy, he is so dangerous from this area, guys. Even when Giannis is defended tightly, he powers through it.
Pass to Johnson. Oh, and Johnson slams it in.
Now that's how you use the screen right there.
And it leads to a thunderous finish. That was nice.
And, you know, not enough help from the defense there to compensate. He gets a clean look, and that's exactly how you draw it up.
Kicks it out to Antetokounmpo. From deep, Gilgeous-Alexander. It's hauled in by the Heat. And now just over a minute played here in the first. And Grant, the Heat, last season retiring Udonis Haslem's number 40.
Yeah, he played his entire 2-decade career in his hometown of Miami. And for all of his contributions on the court, what he meant to this organization off the floor was just as important.
Well, pretty much the perfect point guard, if there is such a thing. Magic has incredible passing skills, great size, unbelievable vision, plus leadership qualities that make him CEO-like.
And the jam by Antetokounmpo.
Great job on the back end of the play.
Yep, finished with both hands, making sure of it.
Yeah, highly efficient, nothing extra special there, just effective.
Here's Johnson, uneasy too on the layup. Johnson's gotten his second bucket on the night.
Magic takes a lot of pride in his toughness now. Shows you why on that finish.
Halliburton, the pass to Jokic. Lanier with the rebound.
A rare miss for him at point-blank range. That's one he'd like to have back.
Back to Johnson. Pass to Keenan. Here's Moncrief. A threat for them offensively. He's recorded around 19 a game. The baseline, Jay. Another miss. He's 0 for 2 now.
Couldn't quite line that one up. Just got to shake it off and move on to the next one.
Antetokounmpo. And Giannis with the jam.
Oh, man, the balance of muscle Giannis possesses is tremendous. Phenomenal at scoring on physical defenses.
And this guy, to me, embodies determination. Small at his position, but he still gets up and keeps plays alive. That's mind over matter for sure.
And Doc Rivers calls timeout. He'll take the opportunity to regroup. Ellis is checked in for Miami. And Milwaukee with a change here too. Young, he's checked in for Jaylen Brown. Just over 2.5 minutes played here in the first. Young, the pass to Gilgeous-Alexander. Right wing. Antetokounmpo inside. Pass to Halliburton. Antetokounmpo left side. And the ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by Antetokounmpo. A chance here to catch up with Allie from the sideline.
Brian, with the Bucks switching coaches midway through last season, Doc Rivers, experienced with star-laden rosters, he said, quote, "I resist thinking that you can't coach players. I have no problem holding them accountable. If you don't do it, you're not going to win." Brian, the pressure's on to get it done.
Now the burden of expectations. It's title or bust. Thanks, Allie. Well, Clark, this Bucks roster is loaded with veteran talent, but their window for another run won't last long.
No, those windows don't last forever, especially with so many young teams around the league on the ascent. The Bucks may want to take a page from them and give some of their younger players a chance to grow and contribute.
That's the shot they wanted. It just didn't fall.
You know what? That's a confidence shaker for him, though. I mean, that's a shot he expects to make every time.
Ellis passes to Keenan. Over Young. And it's Keenan missing. And so it's Antetokounmpo with it. He brings it up for Milwaukee. 4-point game. Count the basket. Antetokounmpo has got 8. First quarter of play and just over 3.5 minutes in. Pass to Ellis. Here's Lanier. Looking at his production, close to 12 points a game. Here's Keenan, defended by Halliburton. The 3 ball. They get the rebound. Johnson passes to Lanier. Soft touch off the glass. Lanier's got his second bucket of the night.
And I think Magic Johnson gets more joy out of making the assist than any other part of the game that he excels in. Constantly looking to set them up for scores.
Gilgeous-Alexander passes to Antetokounmpo. There's Young with the 3. Sinks it from distance.
He's consistent from out there, especially when you give him that kind of room.
Pass to Ellis. Here's Keenan. Johnson on the wing. Guarded by Young. Johnson with a bucket. Give him 8.
Whatever the defense gives, that's what he takes. A sign of a skilled offensive player.
Got a piece of it. Here's Ellis. Giannis with the rebound. The drive by Jokic. That's in. Coming off an assist from Young.
It all started with the pass. That's what coaches love to see, ball movement.
That'll count. And that's not going to go. So at the end of 1 quarter of play, still a close game. Heat out in front. They lead. And if you're just joining us, it's been a pretty even game through the first quarter. All right, guys, let's get your take on the scoring breakdown for Miami.
To me, it's been the ball movement. That's been the key. I mean, going from good to great. Not settling for a good shot, making that extra pass, keeping the defense off balance, and taking great shots.
You know, another thing that has impressed me has been their numbers of points in the paint. Just dominating down there. They're just getting whatever shot they want in close.
And for Milwaukee, Trae Young out there with Tyrese Halliburton. Then it's Bam Adebayo, and it's Red in at the small forward position.
First team foul. Now in the game, number 25, Ben Simmons.
Pass to Ellis. Here's Embry. And that's out of bounds. Miami will keep it. The Bucks making a switch here. Brown's checked in. And he lobs it up to the rim. Brown with the steal. Young from long range. He drops it from range. Young's got 6. And now we get a little perspective here on how the hustle game has been for Milwaukee.
They've been pretty intimidating on the defensive end, knocking away shootings, containing shooters, and making it tough to find looks.
But how about their scoring in transition as well? That's been a big factor to this point. Are those high tops or track shoes these guys are wearing? My goodness.
Clark, a lot of NBA pundits like to issue bold preseason predictions. I don't think you fall into that camp.
Yeah, I'm a little more measured in that regard, B.A. I like to base my predictions on stuff that's real, not stuff that might be real. But I understand the need to try to speculate and anticipate. But there's so much that's unforeseen and unpredictable that it really is difficult to make guarantees or predictions with any basis in fact until some games have been played.
Here's Moncrief. And that time also a missed shot.
Yeah, we're not used to seeing him get bottled up like that. Wow.
It's Adebayo with the drive. Uses the glass to finish the layup.
They just look so overwhelmed inside. Yeah, that's why they continue to get attacked.
Yeah, I think they've got to ramp up the aggressiveness. If they don't, things are just going to get worse from here.
A nice shot by Moncrief.
And Moncrief shoots a really high percentage because he takes good shots, very selective with the shots he takes.
Well, Grant, the Miami Heat are as professionally run as any franchise in this league.
Yeah, and certain numbers point to that. They minimize turnovers, they don't commit cheap fouls, and they hit their free throws. So, in other words, they don't give anything away.
And the whistle blows. It's going to be on Trae Young. That'll be a second foul of the game. Gilgeous-Alexander's checked in for Trae Young. Here's Barkley. Pass to King. Nice start for him, sinking his first shot.
You know King is looking for that high percentage shot, and he'll work hard to make sure he gets it.
Brown finds Adebayo. Outside for Halliburton. Gilgeous-Alexander passes to Wallace. Off target. That would have pushed the lead to double digits. Here's King, defended by Brown. Pass to Moncrief. Here's Barkley. And Miami again with the bucket.
Nice job to recognize the lack of D in that medium range area.
Outside Gilgeous-Alexander. Outside for Halliburton. Off target from three-point range.
And he probably thought he was going to bury that one.
Right now, firing on all cylinders.
Yeah, there's a nice flow to this offense right now.
Pass to King. And he gets that one. Now just a three-point Bucks lead.
That was really a nice look to the open man by Sidney Moncrief. He's got as versatile a skill set as any guard in the league.
And Doc Rivers calls timeout. He's going to gather the troops and talk it over. Miami making a switch here. Johnson's checked in. Milwaukee making a switch here. A minute 35 left in the first half. Marking it outside. Back to Adebayo. Here's Gilgeous-Alexander. Oh, the determination from Gilgeous-Alexander.
And the D can't allow Gilgeous-Alexander to get this positioning, because once he does, he makes you pay.
At 6'9", Bam Adebayo is on the shorter side of centers. Yet he is elite defensively, Grant.
He's been top 5 in Defensive Player of the Year voting a bunch of times. Bam has an incredible motor, a great IQ, and he's a switchable big. That's huge in today's game.
Here's Gilgeous-Alexander. Gilgeous-Alexander takes the contact.
Much more efficient this quarter, feeling more and more confident.
Outside Johnson. Pass to Embry. And he's going for the oop here.
Smooth finish off a terrific feed.
Man, the timing and execution couldn't have been any better right there.
Guys, I hope we get to see a few more of those.
Red pass to Gilgeous-Alexander. Adebayo in the post. 20 feet out. Boy, clanks that one off the back iron and it falls. Gilgeous-Alexander's got 6.
He got off to a slow start. It took him a little while to get into the flow of this game, but he's turned it on here in the second.
Shot clock and game clock, 1 second differential. Gilgeous-Alexander against Johnson. Pass to Embry. 4 on the clock. Here's Barkley. Lets it go from the wing. That shot, no good. And we're through the first half of play here in what's been a good one. Milwaukee out in front. They're up by 4. Well, now a minute to check in with Allie LaForce. She's courtside. Hey, Allie.
Doc, as this team continues to develop, what's going to be most critical to really taking your play to the next level?
Okay, Allie, appreciate it. And folks, we'll be back after halftime to begin the third quarter.
Good to have you with us with the season in its...
Taking a look here at Miami, they're right where they want to be, and they're right where they should be. Now it's a matter of getting everything in.
Well, coming back to the game of the night, the Bucks find themselves in a close one.
We often talk about efficiency on offense. They were the winner.
That does it for halftime. Let's get back to...
And if you're just joining us, we've played through the first half in a game that's been fairly even so far. The Bucks leading by 4. Well, Grant, from roster to coaching changes, the Bucks have been trying to become an even more elite team.
Yeah, teams are always tinkering now these days, BA. The Bucks know they are a high-level team, but they want to dominate the competition on another level.
And from Milwaukee, Halliburton is out there with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Then it's Giannis Antetokounmpo. Then it's Jaylen Brown. And it's Jokic in at the 5. Brown passes to Gilgeous-Alexander. Three-pointer off the mark. And for the Heat, they're shooting a nice 50% for the game. Gilgeous-Alexander with a steal. To the wing on the left. Here's Antetokounmpo. Rebound Miami. Second half getting started. About a minute played. Keenan, pass to Lanier. Johnson for 3. That one doesn't drop. And so Jokic will bring it up for Milwaukee. They haven't given up any points here in the second half. Halliburton for 3. And a great assist by Antetokounmpo. And that one goes in. Halliburton's got his second bucket on the night. And Eric Spoelstra decides to call timeout. And we might see some changes. Coach potentially looking to adjust. And the Bucks will go for a different look here. So it's Miami now. They trail by 9. First minute and a half of basketball played here in the third quarter. Pass to Johnson. It's deflected.
Coming out stone cold here. Sometimes the break will do that to you.
Here's Red. Lets it fly. And he can't extend the lead to double digits. Here's Barkley. Watched by Wallace. Unloads from 13. It's tipped.
Bad offense to begin the second half. 4 misses right off the bat.
Time now to hear from our reporter, Allie LaForce.
Brian, Lauri Markkanen's shooting stroke at 7 feet tall had former Mavericks coach Rick Carlisle comparing him to Dirk. Lauri said it feels good to hear that because he's obviously a Hall of Famer, but there's still a long way to go, and it gives me more motivation to keep getting better. He's not getting a big head, Brian.
No, he's not, and that's the way you have to approach it to be great. Thanks, Allie. Heat trail by 12. A little under 2.5 minutes gone by in the third quarter.
I would imagine it's It's nearly impossible to not get fired up after that play.
Grant, check these guys out on the bench. Their reaction says it all. They are fired up.
And that's what those alley-oops will do for a team. Ignition switch ignited.
To the left wing. Young finds Jokic. Jokic muscles it down.
You know, for all of his agility and craftiness, the slick moves, Jokic not afraid to go old school and just throw it down on you.
And while Nikola Jokic has lots of years left in this league, he's already an all-time great, Grant.
You know, B.A., not many guys have won multiple MVPs and a title, but Jokic has already accomplished so much. And with his size and skill set, Jokic can be elite for a long time and add to that impressive resume.
And a timeout called here by Doc Rivers. We might see him looking to make some tweaks to the strategy here. Ellis is checked in for Miami.
Substitution on the court.
.156 left in the third quarter. Antetokounmpo, right side. Outside Young. Outside Brown. Antetokounmpo, the pass to Adebayo. Just 5 on the clock. The kick out to Young. No good with the triple.
And he almost made them regret defending him so loosely.
Pass to Ellis. Fires the three. The rebound by the Bucks. Antetokounmpo's got his 5th rebound in this one. Giannis to the cup. Oh, and the dunk by Antetokounmpo.
Boy, for such a young player, the razor-sharp focus of Antetokounmpo, really impressive. I mean, a muscular guy who still makes baskets despite getting hit in the process. He's not wide, but he is muscular.
Pass to Embry. The 3 is up. And it's Tyrese Halliburton with the rebound. Milwaukee with the ball. They're on a 12-4 run. Antetokounmpo, the pass to Brown. Antetokounmpo inside. And no good. 6 for 9 from the field now. And it goes out of bounds. That one off Young.
Substitution on the court.
Here's Paxson. There's a screen. 6 on the shot clock. Pass to King. Pulls it from the top of the key. Miami, no good that time either. Milwaukee leading by 12. Adebayo passes to Markkanen. Here's Red. Back to Gilgeous-Alexander. It's Markkanen on the wing. Outside Gilgeous-Alexander. Let's go with a 3. And so it's the Milwaukee Bucks now holding a 12-point lead at quarter's end. They just can't miss right now. And let's take this opportunity to show you our State Farm assist to the game.
You know, I'm kind of stoked that this was a choice because I love this pass. A remarkable find. He put his court vision on full display.
Yeah, and with the accuracy to go along with that vision. I mean, he put the ball in the absolute perfect spot. That's how you orchestrate it.
And there have been 2 very different performances from these teams today as we get going in quarter number 4. And for the Bucks, they've got Bam Adebayo. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is out there with Trae Young. Then it's Jaylen Brown. And it's Wallace in at the 4 slot.
And the shooter had very little space on that attempt.
And guys, that's exactly the kind of high-impact defense they want to see out of him.
Outside Gilgeous-Alexander. And here's Brown for 3. It's hauled in by Moncrief. Heat trail by 12. Pass to Embry. And he drops in the layup off the glass.
A super high percentage shot there. You just can't allow him to get that close.
And here's Gilgeous-Alexander. He'll bring it up for Milwaukee. Wallace, right side. Outside Young. Shoots from the elbow. Miami grabs the miss. Here's Ellis. Oh, he gets it to fall, and that makes it just a single-digit deficit.
There's a touch of artistry to the floater. Takes feel as much as skill.
And a timeout called here by Doc Rivers. He wants to make sure everyone is aligned, given the situation right now. And it's a completely new group for the Bucks. Let's go now to the sideline and catch up with Allie LaForce.
Well, over the break, I listened in on Doc Rivers' huddle. He said, keep it going, guys. Ride this wave of momentum. We're playing great right now, but we can't let up. Guys, back to you.
Appreciate the report, Allie. Oh, it's stolen. Just over a minute and a half played here in the fourth. Inside. Oh, don't let Giannis in.
Giannis has tremendous physical attributes, but his confidence is something that separates him from most.
Heat trail by 10. Here's Moncrief to the wing, right side. Pass to Ellis. Here's Moncrief, defended by Halliburton. Ellis tips it back in. Ellis has got 4 points in the quarter.
Great anticipation on the tip in. He was ready to make that play.
Antetokounmpo, the pass to Halliburton. Back to Antetokounmpo. And here's Jokic. Here's Red. Jokic in the post. And yep, it's good. And the Bucks lead by 10.
Have a lot of respect for Jokic's feel for the game. He plays the right way, sees everything, great vision, and he processes what he sees so quickly.
And so it's Eric Spoelstra with the timeout here. He's looking to make some very important adjustments here. So it's both teams making substitutions here. So it's Miami now. The help from Markkanen. To the middle. Here's Keenan. And it's flushed down. A nice jam.
Good vision that time. Lanier racks those up.
Milwaukee leading by 8. Here's Wallace. Outside Gilgeous-Alexander. Here's Red. The three-pointer off the mark. The Heat have gone 4 of 7 from the field in the fourth quarter. Here's Johnson. No good there. Some solid defense from Markkanen. Pulls up on the wing. Again, Milwaukee!
There's so many facets to SGA's game. He's equally good from all 3 levels.
Johnson against Gilgeous-Alexander. Johnson passes to Moncrief. Here's Johnson.
The sweat that Gilgeous-Alexander puts in on defense does everything he can to trip you up.
1:16 left to play in the fourth. Pass to Wallace. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Gilgeous-Alexander from outside. Connects from downtown.
And a comfortable win for them here. Game is out of reach. Good performance for the Bucks.
Their shot blocking was a huge advantage in this game.
Yeah, I love the excellent defense in the paint. It led to a lot of key stops.
And this one concludes with their second victory of the year. And even the opposing fans can't deny this was a sensational game for Giannis Antetokounmpo.
An unbelievable scoring performance. He absolutely took over and never let up.
Good on the second one.
Not nearly as productive a trip to the line as he'd have liked. They need all their free throws to go down at this point.
Here's Gilgeous-Alexander. Ooh, went in there strong and tried to power it down. But he drew the contact, and he'll head to the line.
There's that man, Gilgeous-Alexander. So tough to contend with his quickness.
And something that makes SGA so dangerous on offense, his elite drive and kick ability.
Yeah, you have to load towards him when he comes off a high pick. He just draws so much attention and can find another cutter or spot-up shooter. He has so much gravity to his game.
Don't do anything silly, just ride out the clock.
Yes, if they take their time and execute, the game is all theirs.
Anunoby on the wing. Young from long range. Embry grabs a miss.
And just not enough time for them to get back in this game.
Not by a long shot. It's all but official.
Pass to Skiles. Jacks up a three. Puts up a three. It's off. So this one belongs to the Bucks. They have to feel good about this performance. It's one they can be proud of.
Very true. I mean, when you're out on the road, the wins can